Hi, welcome to the Outdoor Laboratory Podcast. I'm your host, Danny Capo, and in today's episode, we're going to be visiting the Santa Catalina Mountains. The Catalina Mountains are one of the most prominent mountain ranges in southeastern Arizona. The elevation of this mountain ranges from 2,724 feet in Sabino Canyon to 9,157 feet at the top of Mount Lemmon. There are several activities to do here in the Catalina Mountains like hiking, biking, rock climbing, skiing, horseback riding, and camping. The Rocky Mountains, Chichuhuan Deserts, Sonoran Desert, and Sierra Madre Mountains all meet here in the southeastern part of Arizona, making it a good place to find a diverse amount of plants and animals. The Catalina Mountains are home to a diverse amount of birds. There are 400 different types of birds here to be exact. In this video, we are closer to the Sonoran Desert. Some of the plants that we can find here are saguaros, palo verde trees, prickly pear, ocotillo, and brittle bush. But like many other natural spaces, humans have brought invasive species like fountain grass and Sidot's grama, which compete for resources. It only rains about 12 inches here a year, making water scarce. The presence of ocotillo is a great indicator of limestone, which usually is an indicator of caves. And because of this find, there have been plenty of caves found in the area, like the Cave of Bells, Pepper Sauce Caves, and Colossal Caves. One of the best overlooks in the Catalina Mountains would have to be the Babaduad, which means frog mountain. This translates on how the Santa Catalina Mountains resemble a frog. Humans are believed to have entered the Tucson Valley about 10,000 years ago, and Hohokam settlements thrived in this valley from 200 AD to the 15th century when Europeans arrived. The Catalina Mountains serve as a great part of the Hohokam culture and how they used to get lots of their food. Perhaps one of the most interesting pieces of history here was found in the Gordon Hirabayashi campground. This was a prison camp from the Federal Honor Camp in 1937. It housed federal prisoners to supply labor to build roads in the Catalina Mountains. During World War II, this labor camp housed conscientious objectors and also Japanese citizens who were forced into relocation. In 1941, over 100,000 Japanese immigrants and citizens were imprisoned worldwide. Gordon Hirabayashi was a student at the University of Washington who decided to challenge his relocation. He was convicted and sentenced to work at this internment camp. In 1987, his case was officially overturned, and in 1988, Ronald Reagan signed the Civil Liberties Act, which acknowledged the injustice of Japanese internment. In 1999, this campsite was named after those who served in the internment campsite. It was a beautiful sight. It was a beautiful sight to visit and an example of the Sonoran Desert. But I couldn't imagine being forced to work hours in the heat. We were experiencing degrees over 100 degrees. If you were planning on making a hike here, make sure to carry plenty of water. It was interesting to go back in time and hike in these mountains. And it was also a great feat to see the beautiful roads that these prisoners made. Sadly, they were forced to make these roads, and sadly, they were held there against their will wrongfully. But because of them, we're able to go ahead and explore these mountains. The diversity of the wildlife and vegetation in the Catalina Mountains made it very special to visit. I truly enjoyed my time visiting, although it was extremely hot. The roads were beautiful and windy up at elevation. We were up in the clouds. The Catalina mountain trails are well managed and the overlooks are beautiful. I highly recommend visiting the Catalina mountain range. Perhaps the best time to visit would be in the fall and winter due to that extreme heat that I was experiencing. If you plan on hiking, do so in the early morning or dusk. Hiking in the middle of the day is a death threat. It may be dangerous due to extreme heat. Carry water, snacks, hats for shade. Even bring an umbrella, guys. It wouldn't hurt. Wear light colored clothes and make sure to stay away from cotton. Do your best to stay cool. The Catalina Mountains were beautiful and full of crazy new sights to see. They even have a lake that you can go visit. A lake that you can go and fish for trout. So go out to the Catalina Mountains and experience it for yourself. I hope you